Even though I do more or less the same routine at work, at the same time each day proves it to be slightly different, so I cannot get bored, and on top of that, I challenge myself to do better and improve myself at least 1% every day. So in this video you will see what we bake, in what manner pastries are done, and what happens in my life after work in my personal space. Let's start where my day begins. Mornings are still pretty chilled in early spring here in Madrid.
Like a bear.
So I would rather wrap myself and carry my coat and handbag from work than suffer in the morning.
Looks like this avenue is becoming my usual filming spot with no cars. Okay, let's go. I never thought that it can be so cold in Madrid actually that early, but I think it's better like this now than with 40 degrees in summer. My subjective opinion. It's so interesting to watch the city because depending on the day, the city seems different. For example, Thursday morning is super quiet. Friday, I already feel something is happening. On Saturday, I will definitely come to work with some story.
As soon as I change, I start heating the oven as my main job is to bake what me and my colleagues prepared yesterday. Since I'm by myself for some time, I like to have some noise around me, so I select the radio of the day and now seriously start working. There are some unsold croissants left from yesterday, so those are gonna be sorted out by my colleague. And me clearing the way out to start with the oven. Croissants together with pain au chocolat are already proved, so I'm taking the first round out. However, since I need to egg wash all of these 9 trays of croissants, I quickly send this plain and chocolate brioche to the oven. Since I freed some space in the prover, I will reset it and start proving all of the remaining pastries. So I'm taking that out with the whole trolley, removing the cling film and putting all inside the prover. The rest of pain au chocolat goes out so they don't overproof. In the meantime, the brioche is almost done, so I rotate the trays and give them another minute or so. Now, finally, let's go back to the croissants. We use the old, good, never letting down method to brush croissants, trying to brush this round as gently and fast as I can. Meanwhile, the brioches are done, so I heat the oven again and send all these brushed pastries in one go. Hold tight, because you will see quite a few pastries being prepared and finished. Here I kind of score Danish. You will see the whole journey of them, so be patient. As of now, I let them proof. Every day we have quite a few ham and cheese croissants on the counter, so I distribute them evenly and also send them where? Yes, of course, you guessed that right. Prover. The same with cinnamon rolls and cestas. Cestas, or pastry parcels, are filled with pastry cream and topped with raspberries. Now, when the timer hits 14 minutes, I turn all the croissants. I give another few minutes and take them out while another round of pain au chocolat and croissants are waiting in line. Repeating the same routine and sending them to the oven once all brushed, and of course, needless to say, I heat the oven again one more time. Let's just take a moment to enjoy the oven spring. My colleague who did the lamination is absolutely smashing it. Such a beautiful job. Since we have some space now, together with some pastries that have risen already, I send some non-eased dough products like double bakes, galettes and cookies. Once cookies are done, we sprinkle them with some sea salt. Ham and cheese croissants never go out of fashion, especially in Spain, so that being the case, we do quite a few of these. On top, we sprinkle some house-made seed mix. Croissant loaves take some time to bake, so we just let them bake until dark golden color like this. My day is not the same if I don't get my coffee. Luckily, we have a colleague who is preparing for us, early birds, our morning cup of literally happiness. Yes, I allow myself to express this way because my sleepy eyes finally start to shine. If you're lucky enough to have a barista who starts her day before doing her own things, praise and appreciate that person. Now let's go back to the Danish. What is left to do is to push the center and to make some space for the pastry cream. Finito. To the oven. Once I bake them, I pass them to my companiera and she finishes them with the lemon curd and fresh strawberries. I'm halfway through baking and before opening we're sending the whole tarte tatin. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't, but Queen too. And finally, pain au raisin, chocolate, pistachio swirls, and cinnamon rolls. We also bake quite a few focaccias. The variety starts with potato and cheese, Kalamata olives, roasted butternut squash, walnuts and blue cheese, cherry tomatoes, which goes like that, standalone, or topped with sopressata and ricotta, as well as fresh basil leaves. My colleague is finishing cakes on the other side, arranging brownies, tarts, etc. Depending on the day, we also sell Nanterre brioche. Today, after I have finished with the baking, I start with the production. I need to shape some Nanterre dough which I made yesterday. But before I jump on this job, I want to show how the dough is actually made. So here we divide the whole process in two parts. First part of flour, some sugar, yeast and milk hits the mixing bowl and everything gets mixed. Then we keep the dough some time to rest and come back with some more flour, sugar, eggs, and for the finale we add butter. This dough develops gluten so beautifully. The end result is so silky and soft. So we place the dough in an oil-greased container and reserve it in the fridge overnight. Then we portion the dough in required pieces. For example, for halak we do 6 strands. You will soon see everything that I'm describing here. I don't roll halak strands too long, as I prefer to make them taller rather than longer. Once I have 6 strands, I braid it in this way. Here I show it very briefly, but if you are interested in learning more, check out one of my YouTube videos I have made exactly about this. So I never do just one, I have a few lined up for tomorrow's bake. Then we proof them, brush them with an egg wash and sprinkle with the topping. The topping will depend on our orders, or if it's for the shop, we actually put what we wish. Personally, I love the ones with the poppy seeds. Every midweek we run low on cookies, so it seems like today is gonna be a cookie batch day. The way we do it's the most common way. Blend butter and sugars, add eggs and vanilla, then dry ingredients and finally loads of chocolate and nuts. All this mountain of dough has to be sorted out now. So one by one I scale, roll and place it in the container. Hallelujah, done! I have already scrubbed the mixer and I will use it for the last time today. Towards the end of my shift, I have to mix the croissant dough. So first of all, I scale dry ingredients and put them straight in the mixing bowl. So in the bowl, I already put flour, sugar, salt, butter, and now adding wet ingredients. I'm mixing it in 2 intervals. First, on low speed, normally we get stable results. However, we need to watch the temperature of water and milk as those ingredients should go in the mixing bowl cold. Then I add yeast and keep mixing on a faster speed. Then after it's done, it's time to portion it. Today I do 14 pieces and I will use half of the bench top table to form the balls and will let it rest. This step is quite important as the dough relaxes, the dough kickstarts the proofing process, and in the meantime we'll start to develop complexity of the flavors. After the time has passed, we take the ball and flatten it, or degassing it. Put it in a plastic bag and later to the freezer for some time to chill. Talking in general, it's quite important to cover it well, as we don't want to form a second skin. As it gets exposed to air, the dough will dry out and becomes crusty. and that's what we don't want. The ends of my days are quite different, but when I work, I try not to organize too many things, so there are 3 common scenarios. Even though I just said I don't like to organize too many things, sometimes I'm still up to something. Well, I'm literally running now to my class because I'm already late, but I thought either I run and I'm late a little bit, or either I cannot make it this week. So I'm all sweating with this massive, like a bear coat, but yeah, as my instructor says, it's better later than not to show up. That's it, let's go. When it's so busy at work, you really don't stop running and you still carry a lot of adrenaline, I suppose, in your body. I sometimes feel like getting it out, so I hit my home gym. Nothing fancy at all, more like fun exercises. Moreover, I see my peers doing so much after work, like proper workouts, keeping their healthy bodies in shape, so it's kind of passively motivates me too, not to give up on myself and build strength in my own body. And in general, I feel we give so much time to someone else that we forget how important it is to have a good relationship with yourself. Carry on doing your job to fulfill your goals or ideas, or just to feel good. Last and frankly the most common option is to come home and switch off, literally just to lay down on the hard floor, and this is kind of the first proper stop from running since 4 AM and doing my 9-hour shift. So yes, it does indeed feel good, and if I'm not just resting for some time, I take my holy siesta and then I carry on with my stuff. After a long shower, I go to have my most typical lunch. So before leaving work, I grab a loaf of bread. Hummus and salad stock is always there at home without exceptions, and that's how my 80% of my diet looks like. Almost a rabbi diet, but the taste of fresh bread is just sensational. So I like to put this on YouTube. I really like it. It's kind of keeping me company while I work. I have rules. When I know that I'm not going to work the next day, I have MADRID straight away. So I'm just kind of wake up again, focused, and work as much as I can. So I use my evening while I edit this video and eating actually the month. This type of videos is the best evidence of my kitchen life and an actual living memory of my days in the sunniest capital in Europe. I want to wish you to work with passion and dedication. Never forget to recharge yourself and slow down sometimes. If you reached this part of the video, the last thing I want to say is thanks for staying till the end, and see you next week.